good, everybody, and welcome back to the More Love Conversation series. I'm Vernon.
I'm Venice.
And this is the place, man, where we talk more love, more life,
more healthy relationships, mental health, and all the things.
Absolutely. So, again, y'all kind of know by now what it is we're doing while we're here. And we're back to just try to give some more tips, man, something that hopefully can help you deal with another topic that has come across our desk. So, babe, what's the topic today? What we trying to drop jewels on today?
This is a spicy one today. Could be a little emotional, but definitely a spicy one. How to restore relationships. So we're going to give today 6 tips on how to restore your relationship after betrayal.
And specifically trust in the relationship after betrayal. So, one of the things that we definitely think is important to talk about and do when we're trying to restore is acknowledgement, both recognizing what has been done to get us to that place where, trust after betrayal has been broken. And, truth be told, sometimes, when you are the person who's been the victimizer, you may be defensive. You may not be wanting to admit or hear, all of what the person has to say. And sometimes the person who feels like, the trust has been broken may not have their thoughts together and may not, be good at verbalizing what's going on. So trying to get to a place where both of you can acknowledge and understand what the betrayal has been and how the trust has been broken, I think is a good place to start.
I think another part of that, which a lot of people would think about when it comes to restoring trust, is the willingness to forgive. That's a big deal. I think also being aware enough to understand that forgiveness is a process, and sometimes people may want to prematurely just forgive because you're supposed to forgive, but truly understanding what forgiveness is and then going through that process to hopefully forgive your significant other. And in addition to that, understanding that before you get to that point, you have to learn what it means to forgive yourself. And we'll talk about that some more at another time, but forgiveness is a really big component of restoring trust.
So real quick, just a question. Is forgiveness only for the person who feels like something has been done for them, or does the person who may have been the perpetrator have to work on forgiveness for themselves as well?
Exactly. Absolutely. Gotcha. Because, truth be told, when you have betrayed someone, especially someone who is close to you, hopefully you feel some sort of remorse. And a lot of times, just as much as the person who has been betrayed has a lot of different emotions and feels bad, the person who actually was the betrayer has a lot of different emotions as well. So they would have to go through hopefully a process of understanding what that is so that they can learn how to forgive themselves. Being mindful of who you're talking to, that's another tip. When you're angry, when you have a lot of different emotions, and of course if your significant other is getting on your nerves, of course you want to pick up the phone and you want to tell any and everybody. But
social media, Facebook, everybody needs to know.
Or your Aunt Sally, your cousin, your best friend. Being mindful of who you talk to when you're going through a situation as deep as betrayal within your relationship or marriage is a big, big, big deal. Okay, so of course you have your loved ones, you want to share, you want to talk, and you probably want some advice, but be mindful of who you're talking to and hoping that whomever you do choose to talk to has your best interest at heart.
Because everybody don't.
Yeah, and then that they respect your union and your relationship enough to hold that, and then also maybe even supporting your relationship, supporting your decisions, and then still has hopefully a level of respect and understanding for your significant other. And it takes a very mature individual or group of individuals who can actually do that. So keep in mind who you're talking to, because as you go through the process of learning how to trust and forgive after betrayal, then you might bring your significant other to the barbecue next week, and all the people at the barbecue, they don't even want to serve the chicken or the mac and cheese. So be mindful of that, of who you're talking to, because this is sensitive information, and your relationship and your marriage is actually, a big component of connection in your life. So don't talk to everybody. Be mindful.
think a big thing, just to segue into talking, is being open to therapy and counseling. And
Absolutely.
Obviously, if we're talking about couples, which we are a lot. Couples counseling is always a great look. But even in the couples counseling, a lot of times we hear, when there's some type of betrayal and trust is broken, one side is saying to the other side, well, you need to go to therapy and get it together. But the reality is, it's a benefit for both to be able to go to individual therapy too, because like my wife mentioned earlier, there's a lot of feelings that's in there that you're gonna have, and it's on both sides of the fence. It can be for the person who may have done an act that helped cause the betrayal, but also to the person who was done the betrayal too. But there's feelings for both,
right.
and having that opportunity to go speak to a professional, having that opportunity to have somebody who's non-biased and can be objective, and maybe give you some perspective and some understanding, and hopefully even give you some tools and some support.
So, another big part, another big component to restoring faith with betrayal in a relationship or marriage is your faith. Hopefully finding your faith and then staying grounded in it. And there's different ways in which you can stay grounded in your faith. And obviously, there's no one or two specific ways, but staying grounded in your faith could mean prayer by yourself or with your significant other, finding a group that you can belong to, taking time out to pray or meditate, but just staying grounded in your faith. In whichever way that resonates with you, whatever higher power you have, it could definitely be beneficial in your healing process and as you're trying to restore not only the relationship but yourself.
Absolutely. And obviously faith can be religion, but faith can be spirituality. Faith can just be
right.
what you believe in, a higher power, something that you're connected to. But, grounding yourself back into those things that help you be the best version of you, for sure. And I think, something that really helps, and the last tip that we'll throw out there today is, going through all these things, both of you get into a place, again, obviously, if you want to continue the relationship and you want to build on this relationship, is being willing to create something new. Being willing to allow both of you to see each other in a different light. Obviously, that's through work, that's through action, that's through conversation, that's through communication, that's through connection. But a lot of times what sometimes holds back the moving forward is one person's doing the work, but the other person's still looking at them like the person they used to be. And so that holds us back from both of us trying to get to a new level. And then something that may hold people back is, we hold on to how somebody may have responded to what we did wrong, and we're not trying to allow them their space to process that, use the tools they need, and then us get to a new space together. So being committed to trying something new. One of the things that we say in couples therapy is, a lot of couples will say, we're trying to get back to what we used to be. And we usually say, nah, we not, because getting back to what we used to be is what got us to where we are. So we want to go to the next level. We want to learn from what we used to be. We want to learn from what we got to, but both of us have to be willing to create something new and be open to that. And, through these processes, through these tips and more that you can do, that trust can be restored, and it can be a positive thing that you learn from, and thing that can actually, you can look back and it could be a pivotal moment that helps your relationship grow. And even as an individual, and we'll be honest, even if it causes a situation where you can't be connected to that individual anymore, as an individual yourself, you can still learn some lessons from that and still grow as a person through some of these tips as well. So, we know, betrayal of trust is tough. And it's a tough place to bounce back from, but it's not impossible.
It's not impossible. And in the meantime, as you're doing the work, remember to be gentle with yourself and gentle with your significant other, because you're both going through something and you're both going through a new level of healing. But it's not impossible.
Not at all.
Yeah. So.
Remember, like, subscribe, tell people about it, holla at us, comment, all that good stuff, man. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all.
Yeah.
And until next time.
Peace.